It's a relationship that started in 2004. I was staying on rent in a Sobha property called Sobha Windfall. An employee of Sobha, who is currently Executive Vice President, Quality and Technology, Mr. Raghu Balan, introduced me to the Sobha product, and he recommended that I invest in Sobha Every, which was coming up, the place I'm currently staying, which is coming up on St. John's Road in Alsur, as I wanted to be nearer to the center of town.
The first thing I told my husband is if I continue to move out from this and continue to live in other project, it would always be Sobha.
The quality is absolutely world class. There's nothing to complain, and in fact the snagging and the quality checks are much more better than what a customer would do himself. So quality is the main success mantra of Sobha. Everybody is approachable, starting from Mr. JC Sharma to your marketing department, Mr. Anil, your CRM.
I have spent about 8 years living in my home, and I have not had a problem wherein I have to break or open up any part of my home.
The gym facilities are good. You have excellent walking tracks. The balance between green and concrete is matched. So, I mean, it is all balanced. The major thing is balanced, and it's a comfortable living. And secondly, from a maintenance angle, it's easy to maintain because things have been well laid out. There are ducts, the electrical safety, all standards set out by law and more than law have been adhered to. We have been comfortable, and there have been no requirements or complaints as far as the builder is concerned.
So as a mother, for me what was more important was my children's safety, and the building I live is highly secure for children with a nice play area and generously spread out exteriors for the children to play.
A Sobha home for an investor is good value for money with a good return on your investment, because the properties appreciate well. I bought here first, then my mother bought in Sobha Altia, which is much better than this. I have a property also in Sobha City, Trichur, where I am interacting with Mr. Unni. The people are friendly, amenable, and your problem is sorted out. I have taken a row house in your Tanisantra project, Bangalore, the Aristos. It is far beyond what any builder in India is delivering in terms of specifications, in quality and the amenities. It's absolutely world class.
Sobha provides good homes and makes happy families.
My association with Sobha started in 2001 when I booked Sobha Opal. I am a very satisfied customer of Sobha Limited for over 13 years now. Talking about Sobha Opal, this is the best place in terms of neighborhood, availability of shopping, availability of eatables, and commuting to anywhere that one desires of. The quality standard is exceptional, and in terms of building construction, in terms of materials used and the finish that they provide, which makes a lot comfort for the customer to own and maintain it with ease. Property owning, the most important aspect is title assurance and compliance of all legal formalities. In this regard, Sobha has been excellent in terms of providing right up front when we book all the documents in a very huge folder, which we can verify and get assured before we proceed. The amenities that they have provided is all standard, a swimming pool, gym, a lot of garden space and children play area, which makes the community living exceptionally friendly and good. People who want to come and look at the Sobha property just love how do I manage to book an apartment here. That is the urge that people have to look at their quality. I would like to admit that Mr. Menon himself personally attended to and tried to resolve issues. That way we found very comfortable. Looking back as a customer, what I like with Sobha Limited is their unwavering focus on quality and finish, processes and documentation. And in the end, what we find is that the resolutions were to our satisfaction. Today in Bangalore, Sobha is an address to be loved and owned by everybody.
So we used to stay at a different property somewhere on the airport road, and then the first time I heard about Sobha, so a carpenter was doing some work there, And when we're looking out and we're talking about it, one of the things he said, there are only two builders in Bangalore that they would trust in terms of dimensions and the quality, and one of the names was Sobha. We moved here, by the way, in October 2007. There are about 60-70 residents already. So in terms of the timing that they committed, they were able to stay up, they were able to live up to it. We are on the second floor, but it obviously causes a risk for a younger boy like at 4. It was amazing to notice that in the balcony, the way the grill is structured, for example, there's no way that the kid could climb, and step up and create any risk. So, clearly it talks about that the thought that had gone in. One of our other neighbors mentioned, for example, that they wanted to remodel a little bit, and that was an afterthought. So they had to break a wall, and apparently it took 3 or 4 times the time for him to break the wall, just because the quality was so well done. I think from the practical perspective, some of the amenities that they've offered, pool is one we have used fairly well. There is gym and the table tennis facility, and some of the other indoor facility. The clubhouse, almost every single weekend we have had opportunity to, especially the initial years, we would go have a party or two. The social gatherings, there's a fantastic lawn on the backside. It easily accommodates 150-200 people, and it's a great time for all of us neighbors together to interact, especially in these days when the traffic is so heavy. It's a blessing for us to have something so close by, just to walk a minute or two, and then interact socially with several people. They took ownership about some of the issues that we're facing, for example, cleanliness and just the water, the way it would flow. And we had some challenges with STP to begin, but they were very cooperative. It was always about solution instead of trying to say that we have sold the property and we are done with it. They never ever said they never washed their hands off our side. It is not their responsibility. Today my son is at 12. He loves this property. He almost doesn't like to talk about, if at all there's any discussion among his friends or anybody else about moving away from this property.
Every day there are about 15 of us playing cricket or football or whatever, so it's pretty fun.
Obviously several people at office, at work, otherwise friends have asked us about our experience here, and we have been delighted to talk about some of the things that Sobha has been offering and our interaction that we have had with them. It's been always a pleasure.
I came to Bangalore about a decade ago from Bombay just to look at some property investments, and in the exhibition I met with the Sobha team. The first property that I bought from Sobha was Sobha Malachite, and they were absolutely bang on dot in terms of delivery. Sobha has their own construction team, and that has worked pretty well. I think the quality of construction has been absolutely outstanding, particularly when I compare with other builders. The Malachite delivery commitment was absolutely outstanding, but then I decided to buy a few more properties from Sobha. After-sales service has been really remarkable. I think Sobha believes in good customer service. They have been in touch with us since 2010. That's almost 6 years after this property was built. I don't think any other builder would stay connected that long with their customers after having delivered. I think when I look at other builders from whom I have bought properties, nobody is a match in terms of the construction quality of Sobha. Their process orientation has really kept them at the top of the league. I would strongly recommend Sobha property to all my friends, and many of my friends have actually bought into Sobha because of my recommendation, and they all live happily. I am a happy customer of Sobha. I've enjoyed living in Sobha Althea Zelia, and similarly I have enjoyed my stay in Malachite and reaped the benefits of having invested in Magnolia. So good luck to Sobha.
From the day one I zeroed in that I would be going in for a Sobha property. I visited the Sobha office, and they assigned a one-on-one salesperson who kind of accompanied me and told more about the properties. And from then onwards, I think till the final handover, it was the only person I used to deal one-on-one with. Especially being in US, I had to do things Everything about the process I had to go through by emails, not even by phone calls, more by emails. And Sobha was pretty prompt on answering everything, and wherein there were confusions, they cleared it pretty well. Building quality wise, I would rate Sobha the highest among the major builders. One is doing the homework before buying the property, but later having lived in Sobha now for about 6 years or so, and comparing the buildings of other builders, I am seeing the issues the other builders, the other buildings do have, be it with plumbing or any other issues. And one more thing is all the compliance certificates that Sobha needs to go with. Definitely they have not had any shortcuts at any point of time, and they have been very open with their customers if they have had any issues at any point of time. If there is a basic security at the gate, your kid never gets lost. Wherever it is, it's easily found. Even a 3-year-old kid can be left safely in the complex. That's what I would say about the safety of the building I'm living in. The buying of this property or living in this property or whatsoever, I would definitely recommend to my friends, colleagues. Why not? I mean, if I can go for one more property, I would go for a Sobha again with no second thoughts at all.
I was looking for some properties, so I looked around, saw some couple of Sobha properties, liked it, the kind of ambience it had, the finish it had, the quality assurance. When we spoke to a couple of people who were living there, they spoke good about the quality. When you're buying a Sobha property, you are assured that legally there can be nothing wrong. Quality at Sobha is top class. If they say that this measurement is going to be this much, it is there to the last millimeter. So that's what I have witnessed, and that's why I keep buying Sobha properties. Amenities at Sobha are good, and you really don't have to go out to indulge in any of your sports or any other activity that you want to do. So it is good, and the quality is good. So that's the best part. When you live there, you really don't need to go out. As far as kids are concerned, they again are very safe within the premises because the premises are very secured, and they have all the play area within the premise. So they really don't have to go out, very safe. And the quality, once again, the quality of the equipment that they provide is again very safe and of the highest quality. So that way, when the kids go out to play, we are at rest. We are not worried at all. As far as quality is concerned, Sobha rates the best. I was pleasantly surprised when I noticed some minor problems here and there. And when I approached Sobha, the way they reacted, the way they came forward and rectified it without even creating a fuss about it. That's the great part about Sobha. Overall experience, if you ask me, yes, Sobha is very good. Sobha Home is a place worth investing in. I would definitely recommend a yes for Sobha properties.
See, I selected for reasons, first one is quality. I understood from my colleagues that Sobha gives the best quality apartments. Number 2 is on-time delivery. In fact, I heard that Sobha's record is that they give in fact before what they commit, the handing over of the flat. And third reason is value for money overall. In fact, my friends and my relatives who have come, they have seen it, and then they are also extremely happy that I invested in Sobha. In fact, I can say that they over-fulfilled my expectation. In fact, the handing over of this flat was sometime supposed to be in September 2015, if I am right. That is what was committed. But in fact, in the month of May itself, we received a communication that it is ready for occupation, and it was well before time. In fact, the total process went so smooth. Absolutely, I don't have anything to say as a suggestion. And as far as the quality of the construction is concerned, that I don't have anything to say. I am extremely happy with the entire building construction as well as whatever the accessories which they have put in. In fact, I don't have anything. I have my only suggestion: bring more properties in and around. We will of course buy one more very shortly.
It is very nice here, and amenities wise, swimming pool, gym, and here clubhouse is there, badminton court, and nice lawn is there, so they are enjoying actually.
I like the way the building looks. It's very professional. It's very professionally built.
It's actually my dream home, and I always wanted to live in a home like this. I have my own room and it's really spacious. I love it.
It's dream come true, and it's my dream home, and nothing more.
When the Bangalore airport shifted this side, I was in a need to stay closer to the airport, and I was looking for a place to stay near airport, which is in north Bangalore. And one of my friend who lived in one of these Sobha properties, he told me that, sir, you just come and see it once, you will never move out of this property ever again. And he was absolutely right. Whether it is right from the doorknob to the granite that they have used, whether it's in the kitchen or in the every room that is out there, everywhere the quality seems to be the paramount for Sobha developers. So looking at the entire exteriors, my entire family, my wife, my kids, they fell in love with the property and they decided never to move out of here. And we started looking for a property that is available within the Sobha. We were fortunate enough to find one, and we were able to find one, and we made a deal, and we stayed here permanently, and we don't intend to move out of here. Well, my entire life has been here. My first one came here when he was just 2 or 3 years old, and he was born in Sobha properties, and I don't think they want to go anywhere else but to live. Even when I go to my mother's house in my hometown, after a day or two, they want to rush back to this home. And for me, that's what is home, where people want to go back always and stay there. And both my kids love being here. Well, Sobha homes are happy homes, that much I'll tell you. My mother loved it, my dad loved it as long as he was alive with us here. And whoever has come in here, many of my friends who visit me, they rather envy me that you live in a resort-like housing development area. Each one of them says that, and that makes me proud.
It's like when I'm entering the property, I feel I'm entering a resort. It makes me really feel very happy to enter the property. It is very safe, I would say. Like my kids, they do not want to stay at home even for a second. I don't know where my kids are. So it's like, I have to knock at every other door. Okay, is my child there? I have to actually knock, or I have to give them a call and find out, okay, where is my child? So they are very safe.
Sobha is the apartment, basically, it has a lot of greenery. The swimming pool is for us full fun, we have a lot of fun.
Sobha is my home, where it's filled with happiness, enjoyment, fun-filled living.
Piece of heaven, and I would like to stay here forever, as long as I'm alive.
Yes, many years ago I visited a friend of mine who was living in a Sobha property. I think it was in the Jakkur area, if I'm not mistaken. And the first thing that struck me was the quality of construction of Sobha was much better than any other that I'd seen before. And then later on, I saw a few properties of theirs on Sarjapur Road, and I quite liked the standard of construction even then that they'd used. And I thought that if I do buy a property in the future, then I should definitely look at a Sobha property. Firstly, we had done a lot of research before we picked up a villa here. We had gone and seen a lot of gated communities of villas. And the one thing which appealed to us the most was the amount of open space that was provided in the property. So that was one of the main reasons. My wife and I, we always wanted to live in an independent house and not in an apartment. But considering, Bangalore hasn't lived up to its reputation of being a garden city anymore, so we didn't, want to construct our own house in the city. We were always keen on living in a gated community. And when we came and saw Sobha Lifestyle, we thought we had found our home in this place, and hence we decided to purchase our villa, and we are pretty happy. We've been living here for 2 years, and it's been a good experience so far.
because of the way the place is, with a lot of open space and the fact that it's a gated community, we have a lot of security, 24/7 security. That was one of the main reasons we fell in love with this place, because we feel safe here. And especially with a small kid, there's a lot of space for her to play, cycle around. We all go cycling in the evenings and we use all the facilities over here. It's absolutely kid friendly, and it's amazing for kids to grow up in such an environment. Sobha home for me would be, the first thing that comes to my mind is quality, and everything else comes from that. We are happy, there's a lot of peace here, and the happiness stems from the fact that we are happy with everything that Sobha has provided. So that's what Sobha home is, and we are very happy with this place. And I don't think after living here, we actually often talk about this, that after living here we are so spoiled that I don't think we could ever move back to the city, or probably live anywhere else which is not Sobha, because we are pretty used to the Sobha kind of way, this life.
Both of us are people who appreciate quality, and this home definitely has the quality that we were looking at for settling down into kind of a permanent kind of a home. So yes, that's what a Sobha home means to us.
Yeah, if I wanted to say in a single word, I find it, it's the value for money. This is the first property I bought from Sobha was in about 12 years back. From there on, I have purchased about 4 properties, and some of them were purely based on the investment purpose, and something was for my own stay. So I find it that Sobha can give a very good value for the investment, and it's the value for money proposition. We believe that they give a very good quality product to the end customer at the final. I think this is one of the best property I have seen in our country. I moved into so many cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Indore, Vadodara, and finally decided to settle down in Bangalore. One of the main reasons was the climate, and the second reason was a good house. And I believed in Sobha's capability of designing a good quality house and making it and delivering to the customer. 2 of the properties I sold it. I got the price of maybe 3-4 times of my investment, and that's all. I believe in that, and I continue to invest in Sobha, and I wanted to live in Sobha's house. That's my liking, and because of the quality of the construction, I got it. We have got a very nice clubhouse with all facilities like a nice swimming pool, indoor badminton, tennis court, and a very good gym. I'm very happy with all amenities. I already recommended to some of my friends, and they have purchased also, and they are living in the Sobha property very happily. The Sobha home means for me it's my own house. I believe that I understand that Mr. Menon was personally involved in selecting so many materials in this house. So he has taken care of the house like when he make his own house, what are the things he has to taken care of, that all things he has taken care in this property, I believe.